Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm checking my volumes. I'm dedicating this segment to Mr. B, who hates it when I check my volumes at the beginning of the show. Now, we have of course had a pullback in crypto for the last few days, which is great. That gives me more opportunity to keep accumulating. I made a decision I was going to just accumulate XRP all the way up to $1. And that's what I'll be doing. Coins Kid says, seeing the same in a few other coins too, even Bitcoin. The next wave up should be explosive. Like I said in my recent XRP video update, potentially the trade of a lifetime for XRP. I like the sound of that. I believe, in my opinion, for me, it's the investment of a lifetime. Just an update. This is from Dark Defender. Last time we checked the ultimate support, he says, this week XRP started appreciating against Bitcoin. I wanted to share the 6-month time frame to better understand where XRP stands against Bitcoin. Green God candle is ready for launch. That also sounds good. Me not being a chart person at all. Okay, now this is a thread that was put out back in April of 2023 by Truth Labs. Why is Gary Gensler teaching false history on the Ethereum ICO? The gist of what this is Gary, like if you watch this, there's two things in this that you have to understand. The first thing is that Gary Gensler somehow knows how much Ethereum that Joseph Lubin got in the ICO, which does not sync up with what Joseph Lubin says to this day. But somehow Gary knows when he's teaching at MIT.
Vitalik wanted to raise money. He was maybe 19 years old. He looped in with a venture capitalist from Canada, Joe Lubin, who now runs Consensus. Lubin took about 10% or 9.5% of the offering. They put 9.5% in a foundation called the Ethereum Foundation, and the other 80% was sold to the public for $18 million.
Okay, so somehow Gary knows more. Stephen Narioff was sitting there with Joseph Lubin during the ICO, and he didn't even know what the percentage Joseph Lubin got, but somehow Gary Gensler knew. Okay, keep that in mind. Look right here. Guess what? The Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik Buterin's wallets were not set up and funded by Canadian venture capitalists. Rather, his wallets were set up by CCP ran Wang Zhang blockchain, the same company who backed Prometheum, folks. Look right here. So he's showing that the wallet set up by Wang Zhang, the CCP, folks. All right. Against that backdrop, I asked Stephen Narioff the question: how would Gary know how much Lubin got when you didn't even know, and you were sitting beside him during the ICO? He says it's evident that they had everything planned from the beginning, as the one who structured the ICO and had a deeper understanding of the Ethereum than anyone else. They had to minimize my role and make it seem insignificant to conceal the truth. Too bad I have literally all the documents, recordings, and everything contradicting these claims. And he retweeted the video of Gary. He says, meanwhile, the Ethereum ETF is still on the horizon. Gary Gensler himself has confirmed that Joseph Lubin acquired 9.5% of the ICO despite Lubin's denial. If Ethereum is considered a security, then this would be an obvious case of securities fraud. Lubin, who wrote the terms, violated them by engaging in this behavior. His actions are criminal and blatant disregard for his own previous assertions. It's fundamentally fraud. Anyway, all of that is correct. But the greater point here for me is, how did Gary Gensler know when he's teaching at MIT? Stephen Narioff was there during the ICO and he didn't know. That means that Lubin had to be communicating with someone that's connected to Gary Gensler to let them know how much he got and how much that everybody else got. How would Gensler know? Then Cowboy Crypto comes with this. Wang Zhang and MIT developed a strategic partnership in March 2018, just 3 months before Hinman Free Pass speech. At the same time, Gensler arrived at MIT to teach blockchain. Wang Zhang and MIT made plans to jointly build an international scientific innovation center and an advanced institution for applied sciences in Hangzhou. Lou Whiting, chairman of CEO of Wang Zhang, said that establishing a pioneering scientific research institute in collaboration with MIT has a profound significance and will be a great contribution to society. What, to communist society? Then remember, all of those ICOs that were built on Ethereum were allowed by Jay Clayton. All of it. They let it all happen.
It's surprising.
And you have to wonder why they let it happen and how many of their friends were some of those doing the ICOs that were allowed to happen.
A little bit on that. I think it mostly is bad.
Okay.
I mean, there are exceptions, but to every rule there's an exception. So I think, look, I'm not popular for saying this in the crypto community. Ripple has often taken a contrarian viewpoint in working with the banks and working with governments. I think a lot of the ICOs, and I would say, certainly over half and maybe as many 90+% of these ICOs, I don't understand what the real use case is of the token. And if there's not a real use case, it's really a securities offering. And if it's a securities offering, there's not regulatory uncertainty. It should be regulated as a securities offering.
And these are the people that get sued by Jay Clayton, okay? And then continued by Gary Gensler. Now, this is an interesting thing going along. I don't do the riddles really on this channel, but this is still interesting regardless. Digital Perspectives was saying, hey, this would go in the All the World's a Stage folder. Check out what he's talking about. Look at this. March 22nd is World Water Day. And then the AMM goes live on March 22nd is my understanding. And then David Schwartz had said all the elements are now taken. Google has earth, Apple has air, Amazon has fire, Ripple has water. Okay, and then eGreg Crypto did a little graphic too. Cool stuff. 22nd of March, World Water Day. XRP automated market maker goes live the 22nd. Joel Katz stated in one of his previous posts that all the elements are now taken. Now check this out. These are Bitcoin maxis all the way, or at least Natalie Brunel is. I want you to listen to what he says, and then I'm going to put that against the backdrop. First, remember what Brad Garlinghouse just said. Utility. He's always said it. Ultimately, if there's no utility, there's nothing. Bitcoin has no utility. That's why they created this whole store value thing, as if it's the only one that has a limited amount. Not true. But listen to what this guy says.
And they're fabulous companies, but the big gains have been made in all of those categories. This is buying Bitcoin right here is buying Microsoft in its first 5 or 10 years of existence, right? I mean, this is the base layer of the new form of money, and ultimately everything will be denominated in sats. So, and Saylor asked me the question. He said, well, you sold it, and he made the point, and I think he's right. There are a lot of people who don't understand this asset. They're going to buy it, and it's going to work, and they're going to feel great, and they're going to think, hey, I made 3 or 4 times my money, and they're going to sell it, not realizing that it's going to just keep, as he says, it's going up forever, Laura. I mean, this thing, unless we're wrong about this being adopted as the base layer of money, and I see no evidence to suggest that's the case, these coins will be, 100,000, then they'll be 400, then they'll be 1 million, then they'll be 4 million, then they'll be 10 million.
$10 million.
And the time frame on all of that is probably 20 years because, Microsoft started in the early 80s, and here we are 40 years later, that it's the multi-billion-dollar company that it is. So this doesn't happen overnight. But
okay, so basically, Bitcoin is going to be the base layer and all this, according to him. Well, now watch this. This is the guys from Black Swan Capitalists. They put this together. I had put out part of this video yesterday, but they added in the BIS money flower here. You just listen
So,
to this.
no, I never felt, especially after reading the 1996 NSA white paper on how to make a mint or create a mint, where they were talking about the cryptocurrencies, I just never thought that it was a coincidence that Bitcoin, and I've been watching it since it was $7 a token, right? So that came out in January of 2009, and quantitative easing came out in March of 2009. It's also not a big shocker that it had the first run. Now it's having the second run, because when things run up, it gathers eyes.
I want to repeat something, folks. The real money in the investing experience is this. The real money is made by it's not just the blood in the streets, but these people, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you in my that most of this stuff is a psyop, folks, and I'm going to show it in DAIXRP.com. But most of this stuff is a psyop, and what I'm telling you is look at what they're trying to get you to look at, but pay more attention to the things they're trying to get you not to look at. What do they never talk about? All these people that are pumping all these coins and all this stuff, they always talk about Bitcoin. They always talk about meme coins. Oh, that's bullcrap, by the way. They always have their token digital asset, like Solana right now is one. They're getting you to stare at that. Oh, look at how they're going up. What I'm interested in is what they're not talking about. And what they're not talking about is three things that you never hear them talk about in terms of investing. Gold, XRP, and XLM. You do not hear any of these people talk about those three. And we know the central banks are accumulating gold. You don't hear them talking. And we know that Ripple has NDAs out the wazoo. We know that escrow, that there's 1,700 contracts that are referenced in the lawsuit that we don't get to see, folks. These people couldn't shake. Now, and look, I'm not saying that they're not going to allow Bitcoin to exist, and that Bitcoin's not going to go up. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I believe that Bitcoin is the ultimate distraction. I believe personally that the real money, and it's so easy, and look, it's so easy for people to say, oh yeah, you're just mad because Bitcoin's been going up and XRP is not doing anything. No, that's the reason I'm so that's one of the many reasons I'm so fascinated with XRP. My dad told me a long time ago, and he is the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, and he told me, he said, I made money when I invested in things that made sense, not things that were recommended or that everybody was talking about. Bitcoin never made any sense. It doesn't make any sense. As I sit here, I send a Bitcoin and I'm waiting on all these confirmations. I send XRP and it's instant. Always has been. Ethereum's got these crazy gas fees. Meme coins are just memes. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. They don't do anything. Doesn't make sense. XRP and XLM and gold have always made sense. In gold's case, since biblical times. This other crap does not make sense. Now, like I said, I own a Bitcoin and a half. Okay? I understand that they may allow it to live and it may go to high amount, but I don't think for 2 seconds that it wins the race versus XRP and XLM over the long haul.
Right? It becomes more normal.
And she's a very smart lady, and she's going to be at XRP Las Vegas, by the way. Listen to her.
Normal. Having it adopted into the system is more normal. But I also pay attention to the Bank for International Settlements money flower, because that really tells you what the central bankers, they're the central bankers.
They're not building stable coins and CBDCs or tokenizing the world with Bitcoin. Not happening, folks. But what are they going to do that on? I believe they're going to do it on a handful of them, XRP and XLM being the top two. That's what I believe. Now, reminder, Chris Giancarlo is coming to XRP Las Vegas and by the way, this is breaking news. I talked to Brad Combs yesterday, and listen up here. I talked to Brad Combs yesterday, and he agreed. I have booked a table for 10, okay, at a nice restaurant in Vegas during XRP Las Vegas. What we're going to do, Brad and I both, he's going to invite 2 people from his private group. I'm going to invite 2 people from, I think it's 2 from my private group. And then what we're going to do, the XRP Las Vegas tickets from now until the end of March, until the last day of March, if you buy a ticket, a general admission ticket to XRP Las Vegas, we're going to add you 1 seat to the table at our dinner, and we're going to buy your dinner. So if you buy a general admission ticket, you get you'll be entered to be one of the people, the person we pick that that gets to have dinner with us, and dinner is on us, by the way. All right. Then I wanted to show you this. Chris Giancarlo is going to be there. This is Chris Giancarlo on stage with Neha. What's her name? Neha Narula. All right. She's the lady that runs the MIT Media Lab, where Gary Gensler used to be. And I'm not going to play this, but many of you will remember at Harvard they held digital currency wars back in 2019. And I said here, anyone think it was just a coincidence? This simulation at Harvard in 2019 just happens to mirror what's going on now. It was called digital currency wars. Was this really a digital currency psyop? Because I think that's everything that we're living through right now. Well, in what I decided to do, and when we go into daixrp.com, what I decided to do is I'm going to play you this video just as a refresher, especially for those that didn't see it. But I went and looked at some of the people that participated, some of the students at the time that participated in this, to see where are they now. And it'll make you feel even more like you're living through a psyop. But I think it's very interesting. We're going to have Chris Giancarlo there at XRP Las Vegas. If you haven't done it yet, you better go and because we're going to have the questions ready for him. You better go and get your tickets to XRP Las Vegas so you can be in the room and watch the questions. And I'll make sure we add some of those questions to the mix for him. I'm sure that there will be some he doesn't want to answer, but we're going to ask him anyway. Now, anyway, I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family, and daixrp.com. Here we go. You're gonna find out who are some of these people. Where are they now? Thanks for listening. All right, here we go.